Alright guys, we are back in the garage today, and today we're just doing a really light video. Kind of show you one of our other, hobbies that we mess around with. We like to mess around with the RC cars a little bit. My boy and all that, I showed you in the last video. He's working on a Slash and he's getting his gear together and then he's got to put this all back, which it's really probably just a 2-minute job. It was on that table and I could have finished it for him, but it's good for him to learn. He likes working on this stuff too, so working on these RC cars is a really good way to, for kids and all that, to start wrenching on something small. So we got our RC cars over there too. I'll show you guys those at a later time, especially the two rock crawlers, which I'll do a separate video on. But today we're working on our HPI Baja SC, and it hasn't ran now, I think, in probably about 2 years. But anyways, so our issue was that we had burnt our clutch up at the time, which we actually already put a fresh one in, and then we need a new starter. It's a high compression motor. I believe it's a 34.5 cc, and it's got a race piston in it. It's ported. It's dynoed to run about 10 horsepower. We're running about 110 to 113 octane in it. Got a nice pipe on there. I forget the name of it. But it's a real good pipe. It's got the duals coming out the back. We had a Killer B set up, which pretty much allows this thing not to run free if you were to lose any issues with your radio, or if your throttle were to stick, you could kill it with the remote. But yeah, everything else on this, I mean, our shocks don't look like they're leaking, so we're good there. Which I think we had just redid these. I shouldn't say just redid them, but this thing actually doesn't get a lot of use, but every time I use it, because it's an RC car, you gotta send it. So as you can see, we actually which this actually took a while, we did some good old stitch work on our body here, because one of these bodies here, clear, you're about 170 to 200 bucks not painted, and that's not even counting the work that we had done. One of our previous guys used to do bodies for us and all that, and he did really good work and all that. So we weren't ready to buy a new body yet, so we actually did a stitch job, which I think actually, in my opinion, came out pretty cool looking. So we got the body set. We definitely got paddle tires. We are going to switch these out to some dirt tires for this year, just because it seems like we'll probably get more use around here with this thing than, unfortunately, traveling and taking it to the sand. So what we've been working on probably for the last couple hours is we swapped our sand tires to our dirt tires now. So the reason why we didn't go out and buy new rims and foams is because, I mean, this stuff adds up. I mean, just if we were going to do another set of rims and foams, it gets pretty costly. Like, just a pair of wheels, a set of, tires and wheels is a little bit over about 100 bucks you're usually going to spend. I mean, just on, rims and foams, you're going to be, it's going to get pretty salty quick. So future, we'll probably, when we need to run paddles again, we will. We do have a extra set of sand paddles over there. They're actually for a buggy and not a truck, but they will work if we need to run this thing in the sand or want to. So alright, so we got the whole back end tore off here, which this is our transmission, our differential, and actually your braking system goes right on here. So it's all in one kind of unit here. And just to state, I'm not like bragging about the price about anything here, but just kind of showing you guys a little bit, like, this piece here, because it's a Turtle Racing diff, I think these things, and it's been a while since I bought this stuff, but it was like 160 bucks just for this case. And the convenience of this is that normally, like when you'd break a drive shaft, it's not a big deal. You could change those out, like if you were to snap one of these. But like you can see, our cup here is destroyed, and the only way to get to this cup is that you have to take this whole differential out, undo all of this, just to replace your inner cup here for your drive shaft, which is really inconvenient. So what they do on these Turtle Racing ones is that we would have only had to tear off your back bumper and then a couple other little things, and then you can get right to it, take the whole diff out, service, you know, the differential inside there, you know, or anything. So it makes it a lot easier. So this was from our last Baja we had. We took all the good stuff. We had all hardened drive shafts, or I'm sorry, well, we'll call it, it's not a drive shaft, whatever, a gear driven shaft. That's our main line shaft, actually. So that one's harder strength. And then what else? We have some other Turtle Racing parts. We got hardened gears that are tougher than factory. I haven't had an issue with the factory ones at all, but again, we don't run this thing a lot, so I've never really, whatever I break on this thing is from usually over jumping it, you know, big impacts, stuff like that. And honestly, it takes the beating really well. The only thing that we really usually have an issue with is our starters. Usually the sand gets a little gunked up in them, and they end up usually breaking, or we just spin out of gear. And the other thing, obviously, is drive shafts. Now, this all goes in the case because we have a, you know, largely modified motor in this thing. While if you're running more of something stock, they could take the beating more. But that's not fun, running stock. Not as fun. So we definitely, the bigger motor makes these things way more agile and all that. So we're gonna tear this diff apart, and that's probably gonna be it for tonight. I want to post this video for tomorrow for you guys and kind of keep you updated throughout the weekend, give you guys something to watch. I hope you guys enjoy, you know, watching a little bit me tearing apart this and getting it back together. I just checked, our drive shafts did come in, so we'll go to the mail tomorrow and we'll grab those things. But other than that, I mean, that's about it for tonight. I might do a little bit more work, but I'm going to come back later tomorrow, and I'm going to do some more work on this thing, and I'm going to keep you guys updated. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.